Hello, I'm Mary Jane Sharratt from the Healthy Living Club, and today's EFT tapping session is for panic and anxiety. So if you suffer from panic attacks or just feel anxious a great deal of the time, you should find this session really helpful. So you know the EFT tapping points from watching the video, and now we're just going to work through those based on your individual symptoms. So whatever's going on for you may be slightly different from what I'm saying, so just change the words so it's right for you, for whatever's going on with you. So tap on the karate chop point on the fleshy part on the outside of the hand and just focus in on your own panic and anxiety. And if you know the tapping points, you can close your eyes. That might be easier then to focus in. And just think about where you're feeling that panic and anxiety and what it feels like. So perhaps it's in your stomach, in your solar plexus area, just here. So all that panic in there. And what does it feel like? Is it a churning? Perhaps it's a churning feeling, a turmoil of churning, a churning like a big bubbling cauldron of pink mess. So maybe it's just a big churning cauldron, multicoloured, full of panic, full of anxiety. So just focus in on that and give that a number. So give a number to that feeling. So 0 is no feeling at all and 10 is a really strong feeling of panic and anxiety. And just say the number out loud, whatever's true for you. And focus in on that feeling of panic and anxiety and see if it's heavy or light and how big it is. And if there's anything else about it that you want to say. And then you make your setup statement. So we're going to say together, even though I have this churning, bubbling feeling of anxiety in my stomach, I totally love and accept myself anyway. And of course you can change the words to be appropriate for you. So if the feeling's in your toes or in your head, then just change it appropriately. Even though I have this bubbling feeling of anxiety in my stomach, I totally love and accept myself anyway. Even though I have this multicoloured bubbling cauldron of anxiety and panic overwhelming me in my stomach, I totally love and accept myself anyway. Now you'll know that sometimes when you focus on the anxiety, all you really want to do is run away and you don't want to focus on it. You want to try not to think of it, but just stick with it as you do the tapping. And you might find it gets a little bit worse initially, but it'll come down. So you'll find that the level of anxiety will reduce. So tap on the top of the head. This panic and anxiety in my stomach, on the inside of the eyebrow, bubbling away like a cauldron, multicoloured cauldron, outside of the eye. All this panic and anxiety jumbled up in my stomach, under the eye. All of this anxiety and panic jumbling around, churning around in my stomach, on the top lip. All this panic and anxiety that I'm feeling in my stomach. I just want to run away from it, on the chin. All this anxiety and panic, all jumbling away. I hate it, I want to get away from it. And on the collarbone, just below the collarbone there, all this panic and all this anxiety churning away in my stomach, under the arm, churning anxiety in my stomach. I hate it, makes me want to run. And just tap with 2 fingers across the wrist point, all of this panic and anxiety that's churning inside me. And on the thumb, this panic and anxiety, I just need to get away. And on each finger in turn, all of this panic and anxiety churning in my stomach, making me feel hot and sweaty and uncomfortable. Move across the fingers one at a time. All of this anxiety and panic, making my heart race, making me sweat, making me agitated. Just move to the next finger, making me unable to settle down, making me unable to sleep, unable to eat properly, can't digest my food. All of this churning in my stomach. It's just horrible. I just want to get away from it. And just tap back on the outside of the hand, on the fleshy part. Okay, and see what number that is for you now. So say the number out loud that emotion is. And it probably has come down maybe 1 or 2 numbers from where you started. At worst, it's probably the same. It's unlikely to have gone up. May have gone up whilst you were doing the tapping sequence, but it should have come down now. So do another round or 2 of tapping, and we're going to get that level down further. So we're aiming to get it down to perhaps a 2 or a 3. But if you started at a 9 or a 10, then even a 5 is going to be a considerable improvement for you. So back to the top of the head. All of that panic and anxiety churning in my stomach. All of that anxiety, all of that panic, churning there, big multicoloured cauldron of churning anxiety. All of that panic that I need to get away from. I need to get away. It's filling every cell of my body. It's ruining all parts of my life. It's affecting every minute of every hour of every day. It's affecting my sleep. It's affecting my work. It's affecting my relationships at home. It's affecting everything. I can't eat properly. My stomach won't digest. I just feel horrible. I just want to get away. I just want that feeling to go away. It's just taking over my life. It's in every cell of my body. All of that panic and anxiety, that big bubbling cauldron of panic and anxiety, just want it to go away. It just scares me. I'm so scared by it. It frightens me. I'm just so full of fear and I'm so scared. Good. Now tap back on the karate chop point and just reassess where you are in terms of the number. And think whether that feeling has changed. So is it lessened? Is it lighter? Is it less churny? Less colourful? Okay, and we'll just remake the setup statement. Even though I still have some panic and anxiety in my stomach and some degree of churning and bubbling, I totally love and accept myself anyway. Even though there's still a little bit of panic and anxiety, and probably always will be, because I'm a naturally anxious person, and I don't think I'll ever get rid of it, I totally love and accept myself anyway. Even though I still have some panic and anxiety churning away in my stomach, I totally love and accept myself anyway. On the top of the head. But I'm going to see if I can let some of it go. Letting go of some of that panic and anxiety on the eyebrow point. Just letting go of some of those feelings of panic and anxiety on the outside of the eye. Just learning to breathe a little slower and a little more calmly under the eye. Just letting my heartbeat slow a little so I'm less full of panic and anxiety. On the top lip, all of that panic and anxiety, I'm going to let it flood out of all my cells. On the bottom of the lip, I'm just going to let that panic and anxiety leave my body and flow to another part of the universe like a river. Just tap on the collarbone point, all of that panic and anxiety, I'm going to let it go now. I don't need it any longer. Under the arm, all of that anxiety and all of that panic, I'm just going to let all that go. And across the wrist with 2 fingers, just letting go of the panic and the anxiety. I'm letting it go now. I don't need it any longer. Tapping on the thumb, side of the thumbnail, I'm just going to let go now. Just letting go. I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to let it go. Just move across to the next finger. Just going to let it go with the out breath. I'm going to feel my body begin to relax as I release some of that panic and anxiety. And it'll let me have better life, better quality of life that isn't infused with anxiety. Just move across each of the fingers in turn. And just breathe out all of that panic and all of that anxiety, just letting it go. Let it go now. And on the little finger, letting go of all of that panic and all of that anxiety and all of those feelings that have been affecting every aspect of your life. And back on the karate chop point and just focus in on the emotion and where it sits and give it a number out of 10, and you will have found that it will have come down considerably by now, and you should be feeling quite a lot calmer, a lot happier. And you can repeat the process. Perhaps if the number's still around a 5, you might want to do another round or 2 of tapping. It's absolutely fine. If you're maybe down to a 2 or a 3, you could stop, but you can come back and tap anytime you like. It's a tool just for you to use whenever you need it. So I hope you found that useful and that you're feeling calmer and more relaxed and more at peace. So thank you for joining me today.